I think Dplus kind of happy with how things have shaken out. They got a comfort pick for aiming. The comp is very cohesive with these dive threats coming through. The matchup top lane is good for them. So I think they navigate things pretty okay, all things considered. Yeah. I think you really have to examine it from the lens of if that invade had been successful and he had the prio in his lanes, Lucy would be out the game. Oh man.
Doran has just been obliterated by Xiu here. Gets the scrap shield, flash forward and lands the harpoon. There's a solo kill. And that is first blood. Man, I'm so used to it being Gwen doing that, but it's Xiu this time. As well as Lucid, thinking that his prize is going to be this blue buff, and that is due to the fact that Showmaker has all of that priority in this mid lane, but bot side priority is also there for T1. So a little bit of an honest engage here as Carrier dives forward. They get on top of Lucid. He's lit on fire. Faker free hitting now with these Sand Soldiers, but it's Carrier that's the one in trouble. And with that Spirit Rush, Showmaker is able to take him down. Beryl now looking for Faker as Lucid in amongst it. Gumayushi the target, but Ona goes down first. And that's another kill, this time going over to aiming. It's a disaster for T1. That's even feats of warfare already completed for DK. To answer back, right? Because DK needs to take risks. They need to do things. And Lucid going to start by taking down these grubs as they spawn. It's going to be the first feed of the objectives to come on through here for DK. They can upgrade their shoes relatively quickly, but they need to get another one of these if they do want to lock that one down. And Doran fighting against Xiu. Grand Starfall does come down. Let's see whether the Rumble will survive, and the answer is absolutely he will not. As Lucid just wanting to get that final grub, and he does manage to secure it. So T1 not able to deny the feat. They will be able to deny triple grubs from DK. So T1 on the board now with that kill under Xiu, certainly good news.
In that play, Dplus very confident to pick up this dragon. Yep. Second objective of the game.
Deadly Flourish, a bit of an attempt there from Gumayushi, and I was going to say, oh, that's optimistic as a result. Oh, so he hasn't had blue buff for very long.
Yeah, oh, Guma.
Okay, Solar Flare is going to miss the stun, but he's still dead. Lucid comes on over, grabs the kill, Beryl able to tank up the turret just well enough. Plates, so able to get that extra money, certainly going to be good. Lucid just flipped over the wall, so doesn't have that ability at this point in time. Avoids the Deadly Flourish, though, as he flashes over the wall. Ona goes in, but Beryl is right there already. The curtains are going to get called, as now Lucid still trying to escape. I don't know whether Beryl is going to be quite as lucky, though, as he realizes he has to stick around, and that will spell his death. So a little bit of an overextension, and this is something that they were talking about on the space. Aware of what's going on here, but I just don't know whether DK is going to have a way in. As I say that, Lucid just blast cones his way into the pit, and Ona is going to be able to stun him. The front flip gets him over, but that means the dragon definitely goes into the hands of T1. Equalizer goes down, not really doing too much. So an evening out of the Drakes. Another Earth, Wind, and Fire. We had one yesterday.
Dragon, but then Dplus kind of force them away so they can at least get the Heralds as a consolation prize. And the mid tower, thanks to the pressure Showmaker had earlier on, is low enough where Herald with a bit of damage would be able to take it down.
Yeah. It's a big one. Now Faker actually able to put on a lot of pressure here towards his bottom side, but Showmaker is going to answer that. Spidey sense is tingling there as Faker is going to be able to back away.
This gives some pressure towards the top side when Ensuin is big, but 3 is really where he's going to take off. And now looking to Herald the mid tower. This won't kill it, but they should be able to finish it off with some autos. Yep.
Beautifully done. Faker is going to try and return the favor, heading down towards his bottom side. No feats of strength, of course, but first turret blood going over to DK going to be an important one there.
I have to TP out.
Yeah, Faker will set up a turret of his own, and will look to take down this wave more. And Solar Flare going to connect onto Ona. Zenith Blade to try and chain this CC, but the Magnet Storm is good from Carrier. Untargetable is Lucid, but he has to use everything to try and get out, and it does not work. Oh dear, sometimes Zenith played in and it is just not the right call, as now the Otacon going to get taken and T1 really getting out to a fantastic lead off the back of just Faker's phenomenal moves in the bottom lane and an overextension again from DK.
It's a very weird play for Dplus to go for in that situation. You know, Showmaker's TP wasn't quite available, Faker's was.
Go back to that perhaps.
They're finding angles to get some tower damage here. Oh, she was struggling now.
Yep, Doran in a much better spot as he flashes in and returns the favor. The turret will do a fair bit of damage there, as in fact, yeah, Doran does indeed die. But now we've got another fight breaking out. Beryl, once again, just gonna be dead. Solar Flare looking a little celebratory as it hits absolutely nothing. And T1 They get the better end of it, even though it was a 1-for-1 as far as the top laners were concerned. Losing Beryl going to be a big deal because that should spell this Dragon going on over to T1 without DK being able to do anything about it.
Starting to feel pretty rough for Dplus, considering how good this game started as well. Starting to fall behind and potentially losing a game like this. Yeah, I didn't see that he...
All right, Beryl's in again. Lucid is there watching again, and Beryl's dead again.
This is just a never change game, I feel like, for Beryl.
Yeah. To take a turret shot or two. But unfortunately does not happen. Grand Starfall goes down as Xiu is just going to get swept back, and will do a fair bit of damage here to Ona on the outset, as now Gumayusi also in a little bit of trouble. Good cleanse from aiming, but it's not going to be enough. Carrier just being a defender, as Lucid realizing that perhaps he's also overextended, and Beryl's out of the gate once again. Okay, it's time to die once more.
Oh,
as
look at
these
the
health bars, these health bars are so incredibly low. If Beryl can actually get in there, Solar Flare is back up again, and he throws it down. Not going to find anything, but he's holding them in position. The Eclipse wears off. Beryl is certainly killable, but so are T1 as Doran's teleported in, and oh my goodness, this Gwen is so scary. 15 seconds until Xiu's back up again. And it's a 4v5. In goes Carrier, but doesn't really find the angle, and now Showmaker with all that mobility, looking to see what he can get done. Untargetability good there from Lucid, but Gumayusi, he lands the bullets. Faker goes golden, and DK melts like butter in the microwave. T1 just destroy them. T1, like, that recoup was just so incredibly impressive. You get around Doran, who has that full health bar, and DK, they could smell blood in the water, but it just wasn't T1. See here, the siege is continuing. The Baron getting to work here. As Equalizer goes down, flash in from Beryl, gets the cleanse out from Gumayusi as Carrier going down lower and lower. The Magnustorm not going to save him there. There's some untargetability from Lucid, will not save him here either, as it's a 1-for-1 in the end. And now Doran is rotating over. The needlework is so scary as once again he's under the turret. Once again he's dead under the turret, as aiming not going to be able to stick around though. So with the health bar advantages, Ona? Okay.
That's a little deep.
Okay, that's a choice. You can't go through that base gate, but that's okay. He's able to wait things out, and the rest of T1 will join. So
that's just aura, you know?
That was a lot of aura, and I think Showmaker could feel it, as the inhibitor going to be the next to fall here, as T1, they're pretty good at this, closing out these games. Yeah, exactly. Opportunity. 3 items like you were talking about, a thing to watch out for on aiming, but I feel like it's too little, and it's probably too late.
Yeah, the problem is, you know, there's 3 items across the board for T1.
I'm going to connect there onto Doran, and then Showmaker has to try and find a way out as, the deadly flourish! That was beautiful! From Gumayusi, he has to now walk off the red carpet as Beryl looking for Doran. The Magnustorm's gorgeous! Carrier sacrifices himself for it though, and now they're looking for even more. Over the wall they go. Doran is so low, Guma's so low, but it doesn't matter because they get a clean ace, only losing Carrier for it. And T1 will now look to finish the game.
Dplus go for an attempt there, you know, they managed to find a kill onto the support, but nothing more. They don't have to follow through with Showmaker dead, and with this much of a deficit, it was a tall order anyway. T1 managing to hold strong after, you know, some troubles, a little bit of troubles in the early game. A very convincing finish out for this game.
Absolutely beautifully done by T1, and it was just the fact that they held it together, right? It looked like things were snowballing out of control, then one overextension around the Krug camp. It seared into my brain.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.